Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. I am Ace and I am going to guide you or inform you about Tera's character customization, and I will be going through every single race with their assigned genders or genders depending on what race. And it's gonna be a little bit of a long video I am expecting. So what I am going to do is I am going to put in the description time codes assigned to certain races. So if you are just looking for a specific race, you can go into the description and just click on the time code and you will be going to that part of the video, which makes it a little bit easier for you guys to find the race that you are looking for. So make sure that if you like this video, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more, and we're going to dive right in. Starting off with humans. As you can see, there's two genders, of course, male and female. Starting off with the male, you always have to select the class before you go. Every race, by the way, has every class available, so that's not a problem. But just for the sake of focusing on character creation, the class does not matter. So as you can see, there's a lot of presets available. Up to 20 for humans apparently. And there's also an option to just randomly generate an appearance, of course. And what I like to do is I just like to take a preset and go from there, and well, build from there if you like. Humans have it pretty easy because they don't have any fancy horns or fancy accessories or accessories, that's the word I'm looking for, that go with their appearance, like horns for example. So you can really easily just change hair, skin or hair color even, or just, you know, their complete face and skin color. Unfortunately, you can't change the colors of your eyes separately from your face. I believe if you zoom in right here, you are able to see that the eyes are changing with the face. And there's no options to actually switch the colors of the eyes, and this is actually for every single race, which is unfortunate. But sometimes that's just how it is. Perhaps it will be changing, because this is still in beta. Don't forget that. As you can see, there's different types of facial hair, different types of scarring. I believe there's also a face tattoo somewhere available, not entirely sure. But there are plenty of options to go around, and if you go into the fine details as I am doing right now, you can really see there are a lot of options available, and you can really do whatever you like and create your character to your bidding. And these are just test outfits to see if your character would look cool in equipment you might get across into the world. What nice is as well that you can actually fit the voice of your character, because this doesn't really sound like my character, so I would not pick this one, of course. And that's pretty much sums it up. Well, that's pretty much the human male. That pretty much sums it up. So let's go back and quickly go through female. The human female, sticking to the warrior. Actually quite nice that the weapons also change depending on the race, which you will see soon. As you can see, a lot of presets available, up to 18, a little bit less than the human male, but I don't think that will be too much of an issue. Features, the same thing, you can just change the hair, change the skin color, or the hair color and skin color here, of course, as well. There's up to 12 different facial structures you can pick from, up to look at me, I'm a badass woman, to don't hurt me, I am cute looking. As well as, of course, facial tattoos, as you can see right here. But the hair is a little bit blocking the face, so let's see if we can find a different hairstyle that doesn't block the face. There we go. These are not actually tattoos, I believe they are. Well, I suppose they are tattoos, but they don't look like tattoos, let me put it that way. And of course there's just basic makeup. Up to 15 different styles. You can't change them separately. you have to pick them in a group, which some people I guess like. I find that to be a disadvantage, because if I like a certain style or a certain tattoo, for example, on my character, and it doesn't fit with like the horn that it goes with, for example, kinda puts me in an awkward position. Same thing here, all kinds of crazy settings that you can mess around with, testing outfits, and I still believe that for a female the formula of the less clothing you are wearing, the more protection you have still applies to games like this, as you can see. And as well, you can change the voice of course here as well. And that sums it up pretty much for the human male and female. Going to Kastanik, which are elf-looking badass people that are bold and have a wry humor. Not sure what that exactly says about gameplay, but we'll just go see what's up with them. Moving on quickly to the character customization. And what do we have here? We have a lot of different appearances again. Up to 20, as well as the randomizer of course. And this is what I was talking about when you can't really change different things. For example, the horns right here are connected to your hairstyle. So for example, if you like these kind of horns, but you like this hairstyle, you can't have that. You have to specifically choose them in a group. And I really disliked it when that happens. But that's just how it is. There's 12 different types that you can pick from, so I hope that there is something to your liking when you are put in this position. Again, different faces equals different eyes as well, if I'm not mistaken. Just a little bit. As you can see, there's a clear difference in eyes actually. Well, there's piercings and facial hair available for people that want it. Doesn't seem like you can actually change the facial hair, so a little bit sad about that. As well as of course many options that you could just tweak. Again, the testing outfits. And I believe the voices for male or female actually never change, because this sounds like a specific race, as well as this, which you will see soon enough. Moving back to the female version of this race. Okay, let's get going to character customization. As you can see, a lot of presets once again available, up to 20. Randomizer. Same thing with the horns and the hair that applies here, but there is a lot of stuff available, so it is quite neat. You can actually have really bright hair or really dark hair, so there is customization available, but it's more in colors than actual horns and hair colors separate. I guess that does make it a little bit easier, but for people like me that like to really create their character perfect, a little bit sad, but that might change in the future. A lot of different skin colors, up to orange-like almost, to the pale version of course. A lot of different faces, as well as makeup it seems. Does the makeup change as well? There is makeup with the facial structure, as well as additional piercings, I guess that is. Not entirely sure. But there is definitely significant difference in facial structures. As well as more piercings if you so desire. And you can change the makeup here, apparently. So there is actual change for makeup. So that's quite neat. Once again, of course, massive amounts of options to in fact change the flatness to your nose, to the size of your ears. Testing outfits, same thing with every single female version of every race, of course. The less clothing you have, the more protection you have. As well as, of course, the basic selection of voices that is available to every female version of a race. And that sums it up for Kastanik. Moving on to the very tough looking guys. Yes, indeed. I'm not entirely sure how these guys are pronounced. Amon? But it doesn't really matter. Moving on. As you can see, the weapons are changing as well. So you do get a good feel of how they would look in their, you know, their type of armor, I guess. A lot of presets available for a race that is not really human, or well, I suppose it's a humanoid, but it doesn't really have human-like features besides the body then. A lot of horns going on, steel facial hair apparently. They look really tough. And it seems that you can actually change the horns separately from the face itself here, so that is kind of neat. Going to the face, a lot of faces available. As you can see, there is metal involved, but I believe that's due to here. Yes, we'll come back to that into a minute. A lot of faces available, kind of neat, up to 12. So if you want to look scary or less scary, that's all up to you. And you can actually, I believe this is like the war tattoos or their version of makeup. So you can really look like something that you don't want to meet into a, you know, in a dark alley, for example. And you can apply metal things to your face. I believe they changed as well with the faces or the facial structure. So there is a lot of stuff that you can actually do. Kinda neat. Looks really badass, I think. As you can see, a lot of options available to switch and to fine tweak your character to your liking. You can even change the lip thickness of your character, so that should actually give a good idea to what is available to tweak. As you can see, there is a lot of available outfits to see if your character would look badass in outfits. Looks kind of like a barbarian type. So yeah, that's the male version of the Amon or the Amon. Moving up or moving further to the female version. I believe this is the only female version of any race that actually has clothing. Yeah. So let's see what we can customize with her. Kinda looks neat. Long hair. Really long hair. She could. Alright, they actually look pretty decent, I have to say. I was actually looking. I was actually expecting like a bit of a tougher build woman, like a more literally built from rock. Well, judging by their hands, that's still the case, of course. But they do keep the feminine or yeah, the female aspect alive even in this race, which I guess can be conceived to be or can be perceived to be a good thing or a bad thing. But judging by the style of the game, I guess it's kind of what you should be expecting anyway. A lot of presets available, again 1 up to 20. Randomizer works as well, pretty good. You can actually change the hair or the horn, not entirely sure what it is. The hair horn? The horn hair? Or doesn't change the face itself. And with this race, it doesn't really matter that you can't change the hair and the horns separately, because as you can see, they are pretty tied together. The horns and the hair are like wrapped around each other, so that kind of makes sense. Unfortunately, you can't change once again the eyes separately from the facial structure, but there's a lot of skin tones available, as well as again the metal facing or the metal plating in your face also changes with what kind of facial structure you have, as you can tell. Additional makeup for the people that are interested in that, or you know, tattoos, whatever they are. Not entirely sure what they should be classified as, but a lot of options once again. And yeah, a lot of fine tweaking that you can do here if you so desire. I believe this is actually the one race with a female gender that actually has more armor on her body than exposed body. Not entirely sure if that's still body or bone or not. Can't really make that up. Just below the breast. Is that bone? I'm assuming that's part of. I can't really tell due to the nature of this race, of course, but kind of looks neat. Oh yeah, it's her body apparently. Well, so much for having more clothing than body exposed. My apologies. And again, the basic voice selection for the Amen. Popori. The pandas, as you can see. And what I do like about the smaller race is that even though you can be a slayer with a gigantic sword, it still looks kind of funny. Like the axe is like twice their size, but that's not what we're here for. Let's see what we can actually adjust to them. They seem to be able to be pandas, but also bunnies. Or cats. Or dogs. Quite interesting. A lot of available animal-like creatures that you can pick from. And you can actually change the tail here. That's quite nice. Doesn't matter what kind of tail you want. You can change it accordingly. Not that they actually fit the, the cat doesn't really have a tail like for example like this. Well, this could fit, but let's see. Yeah. With the cat head? No, not really. So I really would like to know how you would be able to customize your own animal if you like. Because I believe you are actually forced to pick an animal and just slightly change the skin color. So you can't really make your own animal. Alright, that's quite funny. But yeah, basically, I do wonder if they actually change with... Ah yeah. Like, and every type of animal has a different type of tattoo on the back or on the front, depending on how you go with it. That's kind of neat. I guess that kind of makes up for the lack of customization to your own animal. The basic tweaking still applies no matter what animal you are, it seems. No regular outfits to test your character and potential gear. To always make sure that you know it's a panda. Even though this voice selection is still the same, so you can make your panda sound like a human if you so desire. So that's a thing. This race does not have a female gender, so we are going to move on to the next race. Ellen, the small female girls. That's double. I don't really understand their lore yet, because they just look like little girls with an animal aspect bound to them. But it seems they are immortal spirits on the inside. Not entirely sure how that's going to work out or what the lore is behind it. But as you can see, the same thing applies with the big weapons and the small races. It kind of looks awesome. It kind of looks funny. I have to admit, it looks funny. A lot of presets up to 20, as well as of course the randomizer. Oh wow, that looks scary. A lot of features available. Unfortunately, the hair is bound to your animal aspect, if you can call it that. So this looks like a fox-like, which means you have long hair as well as hair. But a cat does have like shorter hair. Is that a cat? More like a raccoon, I suppose. Let's find a cat. Is this a cat? Could be. Yeah, this is the cat. Shorter hair, different tail. But you can of course always adjust the hair color if so desired. A lot of faces available, up to scary ones or ones that look like they have taken something that they should not have. As well as you can of course change the skin color. Ah, you can actually change the eyes on this one. But this just looks creepy. Not a lot of options available, just 4 types of eyes. So. The tweaking does still apply on this race as well. You can actually make her smile or not, so that's quite nice. I suppose you can do that with any race, assuming you adjust the mouth corners. How they would look when they have like proper gear on, or better gear. Alright. Still the standard selection of voices. That really does not change, it seems. So I'm not entirely sure if they will add more to that in the future, or I'm not entirely sure if that really matters. So moving on to the next race. Baraka, the Giants. These guys are classed as the advisors and stuff. So moving on to their customization. And I believe you are a little bit more limited here, because features are still disabled, or are just permanently disabled. Not entirely sure why that is, because they seem to have a lot of features anyway. But you can change their entire face. Up to 20 different faces. As well as the randomizer that is available. There are 12 different facial structures that you can just color at your will as well. Their skin or their stone color, not entirely sure what they are made of. But it does look they are made of some heavy materials, so assuming the size of this race, you expect them to be heavy, of course. It seems that every face comes with its own makeup or tattoos or features to that as well. It seems to be the case. So even though you're lacking features, you do have some more options than, well, not even that much options, but you have some access to some customization on the face, but not a lot. Not that you can actually do a lot to a gigantic stone creature, of course, but unfortunately enough, it could have been better in my opinion, especially if you look at the other races. But there's a lot of stuff that you can tweak here, so I guess if you really want to adjust the face of your character or of this specific race, you are really going to spend a lot of time in fine details. How they look in better equipped gear or potential equipped gear. It seems that they are favored to be either the tanks or the priests, I believe, due to the advising nature or the leadership nature they have, as far as I understand this race. They don't have any female race to this, so you're purely unisex as a baraka. Moving on to the very last race in Tera, which is the High Elf, and quite frankly, if you would have told me that this was female, I would have believed you. I can't really tell if this is a male or female, but I'm assuming that's male and this is female due to the chest, to put it nicely. So let's just see what is available to adjust here. Suddenly it's a lot more clearer that this is in fact a male High Elf. So a lot of hairs once again, up to 20. That's just scary, but the randomizer does work. Features are enabled here. And this is just basically the same as the humans, of course, due to the lack of horns or objects that are not really seen as human within the body or on the body. Besides the pointy ears, of course, but those are in fact adjustable, as you could have seen in previous races, and we will get across them in a bit. Basic stuff, basic makeup. Same thing with the eyes. You can't change the eye. We can actually change the eyes due to makeup. Right, a little bit weird. Facial structure does also change the eyes, but apparently makeup also changes the eyes. So I guess that's because the eyes then fit the makeup better. Is that how it goes? I don't know. A lot of fine tuning, as I was saying. You can adjust the ears to your liking in fine details. Outfits. Looking classy, or pretending to look classy at least. And same standard voices available as well to the male High Elf. Moving on to the female High Elf, which as well looks classy. As you can see, the formula of having less armor available equals more protection still applies as well to the High Elf. A lot of hairstyles available. Not as much as other races, but there is plenty of choice. To short hair, to long hair. A lot of different types of colors as well. To purple even. A lot of faces available that actually change the ears as well, it seems. So with fine details you might want to have to adjust that if the ears are not to your liking. There are actually also a little bit of darker skin tones available for the High Elves. I normally see that High Elves really have pale skins, which the vast majority of skin tones is made up of. But there are also as well as a little bit darker skin tones, which is quite nice to see to have that available. Right, same things, a lot of makeup choices here. So, oh, this just looks bad, doesn't it? I believe it does. Moving. Oh wait, no, I can't look at that. I apologize. As well as the ears that are available. Oh my, that was bad. Ears are available to be adjusted as well. Outfits, like I said, the less clothing. See what I mean? Less clothing equals more protection. And basic sounds. yes, the basic sounds are still for the high elf as well. And that pretty much sums it up. We have seen every single race and their customization here. So guys, if you liked this video, if you have seen something you enjoyed, if you enjoyed this video, if you have any requests, make sure to let me know and give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, make sure to subscribe, of course. And once again, I will put in the time codes for every single race in the description. So if you want to look back or just look for a specific race, you can directly go there without having to skip through the video. Really easy, really fast, and I hope you guys appreciate that. And I will catch you guys in my next video. See ya.